Previously on Kerbal Space Program Live. So, starting countdown. Takeoff of Jeb 2 to the moon in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We are off the ground. Oh. Here we go. I was trying to make sure we had enough fuel. Oh dear, this is a really weird. No, I think we're too heavy. We're dropping. We're going to run out of fuel there, so ditch that. And that's not going to get us anywhere, is it? Oh wow, yeah, we're really low. Didn't realise quite how low we were. There we go. Oh no! Oh well, I couldn't see a thing and I didn't realise how low we were. We came in a lot lower than I thought, and I think we crashed into a mountain. So, what did we do wrong? Now, what we did do wrong, I think we got the staging and everything right, but we forgot to do. Well, I forgot to throttle up the main engine when we dropped these solid rockets. So we won't be making that mistake again. Unfortunately, I don't have the fuel lines to be able to do a proper, what they call an asparagus staging system, which is where we drop off different rockets at different stages, which is why I'm still using the solid boosters. Hopefully we can unlock those fairly soon if our next launch goes a little bit more to plan. So I think this stage was okay. We got the timing and everything wrong. The fuel, had we not messed it up, I think we did have enough fuel, so I'm going to remove that. We didn't need that, I don't think. I wonder if we should put another stage in here. So we'd have the main boost, maybe these two, and then another stage here, so that this is lighter for circularizing our orbit and getting us on the way to the moon. I think maybe that's what we're going to do. We'll add another, not there, no, I need an engine on that. What should we use? We're very limited in our choice here. I think we'll keep some power. We'll go with that one. Something like that. Then we've got this fuel tank to hopefully help us circularize our orbit and get us on our way to the moon. I'm still not sure about these tanks here. I might remove these and add some more fuel up here, but then we haven't got any ladders. And I'm not all that great cancelling out my lateral velocity, so this will give us a bit more stability on our landing. What do you reckon, guys? Staging all's okay. I think we'll stick with these for now. Yes, they are added weight, but if we do run out of fuel in here, at least we'll have the fuel here that we can pump back into here for our return journey. So this is going to be our Jeb 3. This rocket sadly now bears the name of Jeb in memorial of his loss from the previous launch. We will learn from our mistakes and send a new Kerbal to succeed where Jeb could not. Okay, so here we go. Let's hopefully have a bit more successful launch this time. Okay, nighttime launch now. I hate like nighttime launches. Here we go. This is Jeb 3, our third attempt to head to the moon. Our second attempt to land on the moon. And this time we've got Bill Kerman coming with us after the loss of Jeb in our previous flight. So we've got I think we've got all our staging. I corrected our staging before. So we've got our resources, we've got our SAS on, and I think we're ready for a launch. And I must not forget to up our throttle when we stage to get rid of the booster rockets this time. So here we go, ready for the launch of Jeb 3, our mission to the moon. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. We have liftoff. Here go our solid boosters, throttle up and boosters away. Again, we're just coming up on 10,000, so we can start to give us a bit of sideways movement. We are losing speed. Hopefully we will catch that before it gets too far down. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Okay, we are speeding up again. A bit more speed like this first. Feet, right? Okay, so it's 20,000. I keep having feet. 20,000 meters. So let's start to point us to the east. And correcting the little bit of directional loss that we got. Starting about 45 degrees there. Okay. Slightly more successful. We haven't got a lot of fuel left on this stage yet, so hopefully this will get us. No, it's going to get us outside the atmosphere. Might do, just about. We shall see. Coming up on 30,000 meters. Let's maybe bring this up a bit. Whoops, did that wrong. Oh well. That was the wrong button. That was me trying to press the map button and hitting the spacebar by mistake. But there we go. We want this to go up above 70,000 meters so that we're outside the atmosphere. And then hopefully use whatever fuel we've got left to circularize our orbit before we head to the moon. So as soon as this goes up just above 70,000, that'll do there. Cut the engines. saving. How much fuel we got left? Just under half a tank. That might be enough. That might be enough to get us into a circular orbit. So let's set us a maneuver to go around. We don't want it quite that high. 93, 60. Oh, we do want it higher than that though. We don't want to be. Okay, we're going to have to go with that then. 142 and 71. Should maybe have gone a bit higher, but there we go. 1 minute and 5 seconds. So we need to get on target pretty quickly because we're going to need to burn at about T-minus 32, 33 seconds. SAS on there. And go. Is it enough fuel? Is it enough fuel? Watch the fuel on the left hand side there. If it's not quite enough, yeah, I don't think we're getting to the moon, I'm afraid. Not on this fuel tank. We should have brought the extra fuel with us. There we go. Fire that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just need to increase our altitude a little bit. Where's the moon? Oh, we're very close to doing a straight burn, straight to the moon. Cut that. I'm not going to be able to do it, am I? I'm going to have to go around. It manually because I've just removed my maneuver by mistake. We know what we're doing, we're professionals. Well, we need to do this below 70,000. Come on, come on, come on, come on. That'll do for now. Right, we are in orbit. 70,000, 87,000. Not quite what we had planned, and we've only got half a tank of fuel to get us to the moon, so I don't know if we've quite got enough. But quickly, I'm going to plan a maneuver to see. Oops, need to set that as a target. To see what we need to do to get to. No, that's not what I wanted. Let's try that again. Add maneuver. Whoop! Too far. Okay. That was almost perfect. So that's not a lot of boost, not a lot of push that we need on there. So 1 minute 24 burn. Don't know if we've quite got enough, but hopefully we have. And we have got those extra fuel tanks if we really need them. At the end of the day, as long as we get to the moon, I'm happy. We can send someone else to recover him later if we end up stranding him, and we need to start burning. Fuel's doing okay. Really not the right engine to be doing this manoeuvre with, but there we go, there's our batteries shining there. I think this goo tank might have been what was throwing out. Actually, probably these three engines were throwing our trajectory off when we were launching. I really do cut these things fine. It's not enough, not enough. So no, there we go. So where did we get to? Oh, only to there. So we need to very quickly transfer some of this fuel around. Come on. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button, that's why. Let's cut the engines. There we go. Out of there, out of there. I did that wrong again. Oh dear, this is... I'm panicking now. This is going very wrong. Right, burn. Okay. Right. Well, we are heading to the moon. It is not the trajectory we had planned, but we are heading to the moon. We have a periapsis of 862 kilometers around the moon. So the rest of this fuel is going to be slowing us down and getting us onto the moon. This is going to be quite hair-raising, I believe. We shall have to see how we get on when we get there. We are now heading around the moon. Alright, so we are doing an anti-clockwise orbit around the moon. Not that that makes a lot of difference, but we can start planning what we're going to do to get us out of orbit. Or rather, to get us into an orbit like that. And then down... We want to be... I want to aim for about 20,000 meters. Because at 20,000 meters I can then slow us down hopefully, and mind you, that's probably not the way to do it. I probably want to circularize the orbit first, because I'm going to be going pretty fast at that point with such a egg-shaped orbit. Yeah, oops, that was wrong. Oh, right, I'm going to go slightly higher then. We'll have to see how we do fuel. 50,000, that'll do. Now what's that going to take? 22 seconds of burn, so we should be okay. We do have enough fuel on board for a 22-second burn. Let's get us lined up with our target point. We've got quite a wait for this. There we go. So 1 hour 46 minutes until that target point if we were to leave this in real time. Fortunately, we're not going to do that. Okay, 1 minute and 10 seconds. 1 minute and 9 seconds. So we're still on target with our point. Where's the moon? Moon should be a lot bigger by now. Has anybody seen the moon? We appear to have misplaced. Ah, there it is. You can just about see it. Here it is here. You can just about see it shadowed by the sun. Okay, so we're going to be burning at about 11 seconds. 11 seconds before, 11 seconds after. To get this orbit around the moon. Be at about 11 seconds when we hit T minus 0. Yep, perfect. Perfect. And cut the engines. Right. There we go. So we are now orbiting around the moon. We have lots of fuel left, so we're okay. Well, lots of fuel. We've got enough fuel to get us onto the moon. We'll have to see what we've got left once we're on the moon. Now, slowing us down to try and land here is probably going to be quite tricky because we will be going pretty fast. Out of interest, let's see what it would take to slow us right down so that we can land on this light side of the moon. It's only 30 odd seconds. What do we want? We want to land. Let's see if we can aim where we're going to land a bit better. Whoops. What do we want to kind of aim for? Mind you, this is going to have rotated slightly, isn't it? We'll have to see. I think, where are we here? The sun's over there. We're heading around, so the daylight's going to be coming this way. Can't see. I don't. That might be a bit dark by the time we get there. So let's try aiming for this little crater here. Let's see if we can land ourselves in there somewhere. Let's try and just overshoot a little bit, and then hopefully we'll break there somehow and end up somewhere in that crater. Right, so we are on target. This is us orbiting, just approaching our manoeuvre point to hopefully... Oh, that's moved slightly. Where were we aiming? We were aiming for that crater there, weren't we? Right, I'm going to change that slightly then. I'm going to aim for that crater instead, so that we don't need to use any extra fuel. Which means moving that slightly. And again, we want to be burning at about 11 or 12 seconds. T minus 11 or 12 seconds. How are you guys doing in the chat? You doing okay? You ready for this? Here we go. There's the moon. Feels looking okay. There we go, it's worked out that we're not in orbit anymore. Went a bit too far there. Well, people, whatever happens now, we are, in whatever manner, going to make contact with the moon. So we're aiming for this crater here. Let's see if there's anything interesting there when we get there. While we're on the way down, because we brought all these batteries, let's do materials bay observation. 75 scientific value, but transmitting that's only going to give us 20%, which is a shame. But hopefully, what we do on the surface we're going to be able to bring back with us. Another 5.6 from a crew report. You look down at the cold grey surface, it looks really beat up with craters. I think we've seen that one before. This is while in space near the moon, so we'll keep that data. Observe the mystery goo. Mystery goo feels right at home here. Yeah, I think we've seen that one before now. I didn't actually read the review on that one. The high radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would be fun to paint the rocket with this. Well, there we go. We've invented a new luminous paint with whatever's in this materials bay here. Have we got enough time to do a quick EVA? I think we've just about got enough time. I'm not going to let go just in case. Quick EVA report. Moon's Midlands. You've recorded your observations about the situation. So we're just above the Moon's Midlands. That's apparently what this area is called. So get back on board, Jeb. We'll get that transmitted quickly. Transmit that data. There we go, that's off. Watch the resources, plenty of power, in fact probably far too much power, but that means that we can send a fair few transmissions back while we're playing around with this. There we go, that's all transmitted. We'll get a fair few transmissions out of this. Obviously we'll have to save some for controlling the ship on our way back, but hopefully that shouldn't be too much of an issue. We'll look at the ship as it's spinning around. Eventually we want to be facing, this is the opposite direction, our retrograde target point, coming down at 43,000 meters. Still got quite a way to go, so I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. Whoops, a bit too much. And just as we come across this lip, in fact that might be a bit too low. I'm going to try, I don't know, do we want to do this? I think we may have to can we see that crater from here? I think it's that there. I'm going to have to slow us down, I'm afraid. I don't think we're going to hit that crater because I'm more interested in not hitting the floor. Okay, just on the edge of that crater will be fine. In fact, it's probably safer to land just on the edge of that crater. Maybe we can send Bill into the crater once we've landed. See what it looks like, see how far it is. It's often quite deceiving how far away things are when you're planning these maneuvers. Let's see, what height are we at? We're at 16,000 meters. We're eventually going to want to burn to slow us right down. Well, let's get our legs down. That's going to be a good idea. There we go. Hopefully they clear everything, yeah. That, I believe, is that crater that we've been looking at. Let's start slowing ourselves down. Land in this crater here actually, but I come in too fast and lose this rocket altogether. Interesting. We are now going straight down into this crater here. So we're going to get to name this crater. I think we're going to land in this crater instead of the big one we were aiming for. Which crater is this that we're looking at? There's the big crater we were aiming for. We're landing in this bit here. So again, not quite what we had planned, but never mind. 50 meters per second at 5,000 feet. Let's stop ourselves from gaining too much more speed. Start knocking some of that off actually. Once we're down to about 1,000, I want to bring this down to about 10 meters per second or less. In fact, our radar at that height is not very accurate. Where's our shadow? Whoops, whoa, that wasn't right. there's our shadow, right. So we're very close now. Nice, gentle landing. Don't fall over, don't fall over, don't fall over. Whee! There we go. We have landed on the moon. Bill Kerbal is going to be our first Kerbal on the moon. I don't think that's enough fuel to get us off the moon, but it might be enough to get us into a moon orbit, maybe. We'll have to see. But there we go, we are on the moon. So before we send Bill out, let's do materials by observation. 100 points we will get from that if we can take it all the way back home with us. Transmission value of 20%, so we'll only get 20 points if we transmit it. We'll keep that for the moment. Mystery goo, what's the mystery goo like on the moon? On the moon's midlands, the goo seems to be less dense here. Another 40 points there, 40% of that. So what's that? That's about 18 science points, something like that, that we would get if we transmit that. Crew report from here on the moon. You record your crew's assessment of the situation, 20 points. We would get 100% of that, so we may send that back. I think we'll send that back now, because that's worth doing. There we go. And now it is time for Bill Kerbal to set first foot on the surface of Moon. M-U-N, that's how they spell it. So here we go. Out you come, Bill. Turn your lights on. Turn your rockets on. Here we go, ready? Oh, you didn't turn your rockets on. Oh well, less than graceful landing. Get up. There we go. Bill Kerbal is on the moon. Whee! It's one small step for man, Kerbal. One small step for Kerbal. One giant leap for Kerbal kind. This is the moon. Should we go and investigate? Or should we... Let's have a look around. We've got our rockets on now. Get your rockets out. Here we go. Whee! There we go. RCS boosters for the win. Let's go and have a look at one of these rocks. Whoop. Hey! Face plant. Whee! How close did you want to get to this rock? Well, stop. Okay, we done? You done? Okay. Let's have a look at this rock. Will our torchlight this rock up? Here we go. It's a rock. Can we walk through it? Yeah. Okay, so the rocks aren't solid at the moment, but there we go. So let's get an EVA report from Bill Kerbal here on the surface of. Oh, excuse me. Here on the surface of the moon. Let's get an EVA report. EVA report from Moon's Midlands. You look up and search the sky for Kerbal. Suddenly you feel very small. Scientific value of 32. 50% if we transmit that. We'll keep that. And now, our first surface sample from the moon. Surface sample from Moon's Midlands. The darker midland surface appears to be made up of basaltic rocks. Basaltic rocks, eh? Not balsamic rocks, that's something completely different. 30 MITs of data there, 120 scientific value, and we get 50% of that if we transmit it. Now we need to decide whether we are going to transmit this information back when we get back to our lander, because there is the distinct possibility that Bill is not going back home on this journey. Let's plant ourselves a flag. Hang on, let's come around the right side. This is the flag that I created. Here we go. Our first flag on the moon. You can't see it. There we go. Site name. So this is First Moon Landing, Bill Kerman. Our first landing on the moon, on moon. It's a name. Our first landing on moon was successfully completed by Bill Kerman. It's so sad that Jebediah couldn't be here to see it. There we go. Our first flag on the moon. Let's get a screenshot of this. How do we hide out? There we go. Did we get a screenshot? There we go. That's better. We got a screenshot that time. And we get one more nice and close up. There we go. Do you like my flag, by the way? That's my. I created that flag. That's our Ellitopia flag for our Kerbal missions. Okay, so you guys, we need to decide whether we are going to transmit the data that we've collected back and lose the scientific value, or if we're going to try and keep hold of it and see if we can get this thing back into orbit and send it back with the fuel that we've got left. We've got until the time I get back to the lander to help me decide. So, yes, Jelly, I think you're right. I think we should transmit this information back. We've got plenty of battery power, and chances are we're not going to get back. So we'd like this science so that we can at least maybe unlock some other stuff. So let's see what we get from this. Transmit the data back. Here we go. 60 science there from the surface sample, 16 from the EVA report, 16 from the goo, 20 from the materials bay, 60. That is that's going to be quite handy. That's going to mean that we can unlock some new stuff when we get back, which is great. Now, at some point we may be able to actually recover this vessel, so I am going to take another materials bay observation because there are more points to be had here. In fact, we might transmit that back anyway. The goo, probably the points on that are going to diminish pretty quickly. No, they're still fairly respectable. So I'm going to do all this again because we have got plenty of battery power. And we might as well take another EVA. And hi Ivan, how you doing? Welcome. Now he didn't turn his rockets on last time, so let go. Turn your rockets on, and there we go. Right. Not quite so much of a fail getting out of the rocket that time. Now this time we'll take a sample from over here. I believe it's going to be exactly the same. We'll take another surface sample from here. Yeah, still Moon's Midland, so not quite as many points this time because we're repeating the same experiment. Another EVA report, only 19 points there. The flag doesn't get us anything. We've planted one over there. That'll do us. That's where we got our first sample from. Okay, so head back. In you get. Well, come on. Grab. Grab. There we go. Right. Board. Okay. So now we're going to keep hold of all that science, and we're going to try and get this thing off. Yikes, that's not a lot of fuel. We're going to try and get it off the surface and maybe into another orbit. This could go horribly wrong. We shall have to see. Let's see where we are here. We're on this side, so we want to head, I think, out so that we head over there, so that we're at least either orbiting the moon or orbiting Kerbin. I think orbiting the moon is going to be about as far as we're going to get with the amount of fuel we've got left. Yeah, so we'll see. Fortunately, you don't have to have a very high orbit around the moon because it's got no atmosphere, so it's not going to slow you down and drag you down so that you crash. So long as we're up at about, I don't know, 9,000 meters, we should be good enough. So we need to head east, which is over here, and see what we can do. So, are we ready for this? This is really risky, but it's going to be easier to recover someone from orbit than it is to recover them from the surface. So here we go. Ready? Straight away, head east. Whoa! What happened there? Cut the engines. Cut the engines. Come on. Come back round. I think the SAS might have helped there. And we're out of fuel. That's not good. That's not good at all. We really should have handled that a bit better. Okay, so I think we might be stranding Bill on the moon. We are going to lose this rocket, so let's get this data transmitted quickly. .5, 9.6, 12.4, 17.1. Okay, so that's all sent off. Now, how are we going to do this? We need to slow ourselves down somehow. I think this might be a lost cause, so I might experiment and get Bill out on EVA and try and use the rockets on his pack to slow him down so that at least he survives. And yeah, I think that's going to be the best way. So let's spin this round so that he at least comes out the top. 5,000 feet. 5,000 feet. Yeah, here we go. Are we ready? Let go. Rockets on. We're coming down. I'm going to need to keep an eye on his... No, stop spinning. Come on, Bill. Come on, Bill. Survive. You got plenty of fuel. No, coming in hot. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Oh no! Another man down. Another one bites the dust. Oh, I don't know what that was. Oh, that's the rest of our rocket crashing there. Well, 2 missions, 2 men lost. Not the best success rate. Hey look, Jeb's back. Jebediah is back. I told you he was invincible. We have restored Jebediah to full health. It was really just a flesh wound. You know, he didn't really die on the crash. It was all, you know, that was film trickery. That was Hollywood just dramatising everything. Jebediah's fine. He's fine. You know, quick stay in hospital. Back right as rain. So we can use Jeb again. Now into our research centre. By the way, that probably means that we're going to get Bill back as well. So, phew. 289 science we have to spend. Now, these are our expensive ones. These are the ones that these are our cheaper ones that we haven't used, which unlock some here. These ones, the struts are quite important. This one is important because of the fuel ducts. That's 90 science. What else have we got? They're not important for the moment. Right, let's go through these. We've got our landing section. This is really for space planes. This is a gear bay with retractable wheels that can come down, which aren't very much use on the kind of flights that we're doing so far. And a micro landing strut. You know, it's another strut. Another set of legs that we could use. I don't think that we're going to worry about unlocking that for the moment. Space exploration. This is a thermometer. I have used this before. It's doesn't generate a lot of science, and there's a lot of cases where you can't use it. You have to actually be within the atmosphere of a planet to be able to take a temperature reading. So I'm not really too worried about unlocking that. Ladders, that could be handy. Especially if we plan to go to one of the bigger planets with a stronger gravity where the jetpacks aren't going to be quite as useful. Not sure if it's worth spending 90 science on at this point though, when we've only got 289 to spend. Here we have the electrics. This is a new type of rechargeable battery, a bigger rechargeable battery. The first of our solar panels, the photovoltaic panels for recharging batteries, and the first of our lighting systems that are fairly self-explanatory. Up here we have fuel lines, which are very handy for transmitting fuel from one engine to another automatically, which helps us with the asparagus staging system that I mentioned earlier. But this also starts to unlock RCS fuel tanks and RCS thrusters, which are very good for making small adjustments in your orbit. Had we had RCS thrusters on that last flight, we may have been able to have slowed down the descent of the rocket and saved Bill before we crashed. That being said, we didn't have them. So, and this is just a small rocket which is kind of used for probes, unmanned missions and things like that. Up here we have, this is the first of our larger 2-meter diameter fuel tanks and engines. At the moment I don't think we're going to use these because they're not going to be particularly efficient for the kind of equipment that we've got around them. These are all to do with stability. These are going to be quite important if we're going to go for the asparagus staging system. And this is the start of automation, unmanned missions. So we have 289 science points to spend. What do you guys think we should spend it on? I just realised the chat is in the way for this part. Let's move the chat out of the way. There we go. Sorry about that. So you probably didn't see a lot of what I just explained. I apologise. But you could see how much science everything costs. And I hope you could kind of see what I was getting at. These are all the things that we can unlock. What have we got? 289, so 290s is 180, would leave us with 109. So we can either do 3 of the 90s or we could do 290s and the 245s, or one of the 45s and save some for later. I kind of want that, so we might have to get the struts. That would be good given our track record with losing staff at the moment. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for the fuel system so that we get the fuel ducts and the RCS thrusters. They are very useful. Unlock that. And we can't actually see what these are until we unlock the other technologies that are around it. So they are going to have to be a bit of a surprise for us. Then I think the next thing we want is probably this one with our solar panels, lights, and the alternative battery. So I'm going to grab that one. That unlocks some more things as well. We'll take a look at those in a moment. And with our remaining 109, I'm thinking I'm going to unlock both of these so that we get our probe and our struts. The struts are very important. And there we go. So we have 19 points left, which is not very much, but hopefully with what we've now got available, we're going to be able to build us a better rocket to get us that science and hopefully bring it back. Things that we've just unlocked here, this is advanced construction. This is the start of space stations, I believe. Hang on, am I looking at the right bit? No, I'm not. This is the start of the 2-meter rocketry parts. The wider decoupler, wider fuselage, wider fuel tanks, a larger radial decoupler for attaching larger tanks to the side. So this is, for the moment, this isn't much use. We probably need to unlock this one and this one at the same time. This is all about space planes, aerodynamics, air intakes. We're not really looking at space planes at this stage. Maybe later in the series. I'm not that great with space planes. I don't really know a lot about them. So I'm not really going to venture into space planes very much. Here we have advanced flight control. This is some improved winglets, an improved stabilizer, a new cockpit, and another probe can, the Octo, slightly larger, slightly stronger, things like that. Then here we've unlocked, this is smaller engines, smaller fuel tanks. The idea of these being that they are for probes, satellites, all those kind of things, because they don't really need that much thrust to change direction, change their speed. Here we have more electrical parts. This is a bigger battery and some alternative solar panels that we might be able to use later. And down here are some more science parts. We've got a barometer. We've then got, and these are a couple of ladders. However, these here are 160 science each to unlock. So we're going to need some pretty good missions, pretty successful missions to be able to unlock this science. These are all 90 each. So we'll have to see how we go with our next few missions. And hopefully, once we unlock this one, we start to unlock things like space station parts, docking ports, and those kind of parts, which are very cool. They're, you know, we can start putting a space station into orbit, maybe a refueling station or something like that, so that our launches become a bit easier. So we've been streaming for quite some time. This has been a bit of a longer stream. As I said, we did manage to get to the moon. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to get back from the moon, but we have certainly left an impression on the moon. Pardon the pun. So I think we're going to leave it there, because anything else would mean building a new rocket, and that'll take us some time. So we'll leave it there. We will pick this up next time. I hope you've enjoyed this stream. If you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to subscribe so that you get notifications of next time we go live. Don't forget, I also have been doing a live stream on Starbound, and I plan to start doing a stream on Minecraft on the Ellitopia server once we've managed to get the rest of the spawn area built up. So don't forget to subscribe so that you get notifications of when those streams go live. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like the video. Please subscribe so that you get notifications of new videos that come out, and feel free to comment, ask some questions, and point out all the hideous mistakes that I made in my construction of these rockets. I look forward to seeing you next time. I hope that you will join me for our next mission here on Kerbal Space Program Live, and we will see where we will be heading in the future. See you later.